Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Yes, my name is Kennedy. I'm here with Mr. Anthony Mutiso, the deputy principal at Wote, Unoa School, Wote Small Home. Yes. Now, we just want to interact with him, get to know about Unoa School and Wote Small Home. So to begin with, he will introduce himself and at least get to tell us how many children we do have in here. As a school, Unoa School, how did it get to start, and just a small history about it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Kennedy. My name is Anthony Mutiso, the Deputy Principal, Unoa Comprehensive and Wote Small Home. The school began in the year 1950, and with some time, because of the challenges and vulnerable children, we have the small home, which is meant for physically challenged learners, and it started in the year 1980. So the Unoa Small Home is a unit for the physically challenged learners, which is inside the primary school. So the home is inside the school. It has in the school we have around 107 learners with special needs, some of them being day scholars and others being boarders. So right now for the boarders, we have 37 boarders who are physically challenged, because in our school, Unoa Comprehensive, the small home is directly meant for the physically challenged. That is what we call PH. Wale walemavu mambo ya mikono na miguu. That's what we accommodate, and we are doing well with them. Our teachers are fully trained on special needs and how to interact and how to assist these young learners. Right now, the school is headed by Madam Winifred Sila. Currently, she is the principal of the school. Thank you, sir.
Now, having 107 physically challenged children, I believe it comes with a lot, with costs of its own nature.
Yes.
So, from your view, what do you think are their needs? I'm sure you will be speaking from experience, but then you should at least from 1 to 5 or 1 to 10.
Yes.
How will you go about it?
Now, this small home, what a small home for the physically challenged learners in our school, it is made up of learners who are very much vulnerable and less fortunate. Most of the parents cannot manage to pay for the upkeep of their learners, since they are poor, if I can say for that matter. And they are managed by the Madam Principal through well-wishers, through donations, through people of goodwill who come and donate either food. Others pay for their upkeep. That is the little fee which is needed for their upkeep. It is done through well-wishers, because we find that the parents cannot make to pay what is needed for the upkeep of their learners. So through well-wishers like you, Extreme Generation, and another team that comes around, it is of great assistance to these learners. Secondly, they learn, they interact. Our school is integrated, therefore they learn in the same classes with the other children. We don't have special rooms for them, but our school is adapted to ensure that the compound is friendly to these learners. Thank you.
Now let's think of the population that we have. Still 107. So how do you populate? In terms of, where do you get the children from?
Well, Wote Small Home is well known, and most of the people know that this is the only school which occupies or which borders the learners with PH. That is the physically challenged learners. So it is well known, and through that, most of the parents come and request if there is a chance for their learners. And because these are learners and they have got their own rights, so we cannot deny them the right of education. So through networking, the small home is known, and that's how parents manage to bring their learners. You find that we have other schools around, but they don't have home for the physically challenged. They have home for other special cases like Mendo, like that autism, that kind of nature. But for those who are physically challenged, they are boarded in this school. That's how they get to know the place.
Now, I'm not alone. I'm with a colleague here, our chairman.
So I would like to ask, there are some of them who are orphans, or have
Yes, there are some, and actually most of them are orphans, and that's why the parents cannot manage to pay for their upkeep. So they are brought here by their guardians, uncles, aunts, and that kind of thing. So there are actually big number, they are orphans. Big number, they are orphans, and they are supported by their relatives. And you know, if the child does not directly belong to a certain parent, then the parent may not be very much willing to pay for. And that's the great challenge that Madam Principal has of late.
What exactly challenge do you normally go through?
Well, one, we have the challenge of feeding, because you find these learners, their system, their digestion system is not very much adapted to taking normal meals that can be taken by another regular person. Therefore, you find they need some soft foods. That's a great challenge, because in our school we cannot afford to buy rice for them throughout. Because this is Ukambani, whereby githeri food is taken, but because of their nature, they cannot manage to eat that dry food. And that's one of the challenges that we have. And that's where we have people of good help and a goodwill like you coming in and donating this soft food, the cooking fat, the rice, such kind of thing. So it's a challenge actually, because one, as I've said, the parents cannot manage to pay, and second, they need special diet. It's a great challenge.
For those who are watching, what would you like them to support you with?
Well, one thing I would like for those who are listening to me, people of goodwill, kindly touch the souls of these young boys and the girls who are very needy and they need your support. One, they need wheelchairs, because that is the only way they can move. They need crutches because of mobility. They need these walking frames. All those equipments which are needed or which are used by learners with special needs, we are in need of them. And you know, these equipments are very expensive to buy, and therefore even the parents cannot manage to buy. If they can't pay for the upkeep, how will they manage to buy the wheelchair? So people of goodwill, please chip in, provide wheelchairs, provide crutches, provide the walking frames. Then we also request you people of good help to provide assistance with food, and more so soft food for these learners, because their digestion cannot make to eat the hard food which can be eaten by another person. Then thirdly, on the same, we also request you people to stand and move with these learners. You can come and adopt a child and move with that child. You can adopt and pay the fees for the upkeep of these learners. So if we are supplied with this soft food for them, if we get people adapting them and moving with them academically and paying for their needs, and then the mobility devices, you will have assistance.
And how can they get you? How can they reach you?
Well, they can reach us through the offices which we have around, because one, we have offices of special needs. That's one way they can reach us. Secondly, we have even the area politicians. We can also use the area politicians to send the message to them, so that through those offices, now they can manage to reach us and assist these young learners.
Do you have anything, any mode of payment that if somebody want to donate to you can reach out?
Yes, Madam Principal has put in place systems of payment of fees for the upkeep. So we have bank accounts whereby you can be given the account number and you deposit the money, and then you say whom are you paying for, because if you have decided to adopt a child and move academically with him, then you pay through that number and you tell us whom have you supported, the name of the child or children whom you are supporting, so that the fees can be written against that learner.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Just before we go,
Yes, sir.
earlier on you mentioned about fundraising.
Yes.
That's coming up, I believe, on the 16th.
11th of July.
11th, sorry.
Yes, we have a mega Arambe, a fundraiser for that matter, next month, July 11th, 2024. We are planning to have the following, we have in place. One, construction of a perimeter wall in our school. Our school is situated right in Wote town, and the Wote is the headquarter of Makueni County. And because it's a fast growing town, you find that there are so many things which can crop up and affect our learners, because it has got no security. We need the perimeter wall so that we can protect our learners and they can feel safe when enclosed in the perimeter wall. Secondly, in that our fundraiser, we also need a school bus because we want to benchmark other schools. We want to see what others are doing. And more so, these learners with the physical challenges, the Wote small home in our school, these learners have never gone out because we don't have means and the transport, good means to open up their minds. So we need school bus for that matter, so that we can open up the minds of our learners and also benchmark with other schools. Thirdly, we need to add more classes. Right now, from where I'm seated, we have a population of around 1,500 learners in Unoa Comprehensive, and this number is swelling. The classes are full. There is no space. So through that Harambe, we also want to construct more classes in our school so that we can necessitate that the teaching. Thirdly, or fourthly, we also need to construct or drill a borehole. You see, we use piped water in our school, and it is very expensive to manage because sometimes the water is not there, the machines get mechanical problems, and so we don't get the right amount of water we need for this growing population. So with our borehole, it will be easier for them. And with the trees that we have planted in our school, because our school is a champion in tree planting, and it is the leading one in Makueni County. So we need a lot of water for that matter. And having said that, now the Harambe is there on 11th of July 2024.
Just to ask, any target in terms of a figure, any amount? How much are you targeting?
Well, actually we are not exactly targeting on certain figure, but we are requesting people of goodwill to come in and to chip in the Harambe. Or we can even get groups or people standing with us. If you decide that you can come up as a group and buy school bus for Unoa, then actually we don't even need the money but the projects that we have. If we get a group saying it will buy us a bus, well and good. If we get a group or a company constructing the perimeter wall for us, well and good. If we get a group or company digging or drilling the borehole for us, it will be well and good. So that is what we have, but I believe people of goodwill will come in on that day, 11th of July, and they will support us. If they need to pick an item and stand with it, we'll also have to appreciate.
Now you've heard it from Mr. Anthony himself. Now we are calling out to anyone of goodwill, any corporate, any person, any individual, any charity group that is watching this today, asking you, kindly reach out to Unoa and help in where you can. Thank you.